Hi everyone! In the continuation of FrSKY Taranis QX7 thread, what do we know so far? I wanted to show you the radio, do some tests and share my own opinion about this upcoming product. So welcome, the first ever made FrSKY Taranis QX7 in white color. Merry Christmas everyone! Let your snow be as white as the shell of this radio. Let's start with the housing, elements and design. As I already mentioned in the thread, the design is a subjective matter. In fact, I would say that this radio features modern design and Taranis Plus is kinda classical and conservative. But any design should do as long as the radio handles well. I like the overall look and finish. Some small fine details, surface pattern, handy rubber grips, very neat buttons and screen frame. Even the antenna now look more up to date concerning its shape. It's no longer just round. One of the very refreshing detail is the multicolored LED on the power button that informs a user of a different radio states. I wonder whether OpenTX team would use this LED to warn us about something. There are 4 3-position switches and 2 round sliders with center detents at the front, 1 momentary and 1 2-position switch at the top. This radio lost 2 more 3-position switches and 2 back sliders comparing to Taranis Plus radio, but still gives plenty of controls to deal with for the most of the users. The control section, screen and surrounding buttons do the excellent job. Although the screen is not so big as Taranis Plus, still it handles all the necessary information well. I couldn't find a thing that's really small and readable, and the controls are just perfect. Rotary dial with a center press on the right and 3-button combination on the left makes it much more convenient and logical to navigate through menus and change settings with much more higher speed in comparison to separate plus, minus and other buttons. I would say that this is really where new QX7 outperforms Taranis Plus. Let me show you how it looks and navigates. The top part of the case has 2 additional ports. One is for the 3.5mm headphone jack and second is for the JR-type trainer jack. I've tried the headphones, no issue there. Sound volume reaches very high level and there is no RF interference. Moreover, QX7 loudspeaker got revised to the point that it also performs better than speaking Taranis Plus. No signs of RF interference, no clicking noises and bit louder. Good job FrSKY. Antenna can be rotated 180 degrees to both sides and unfolded. Jumping ahead, I would mention that it's not soldered to the board anymore. It has the standard antenna connector and could be easily exchanged. One more jump ahead. I like that upper switches now are not holding 2 sides of the shell together. So, no loosening its base any longer to get inside the shell. Just look how good the shell parts are aligned together. Bottom part of the radio has a rubber cover for micro SD card and micro USB connector. Mine came without SD card, so I had to find one to add OpenTX libraries. Connecting micro USB cable would act the same as in Taranis Plus. Either we go to DFU mode with the radio switched off, or we move trims to center, switch on the radio and have the bootloader mode with all resources forwarded to PC. Moving to the back side, here we have 2 covers, JR-type external module compartment and a battery bay. The radio comes with no battery, so I've taken my small 2S 1000 mAh LiPo and connected it directly to 2S GST balance port of the radio. QX7 can handle from 6 to 15 volts of incoming voltage, therefore you can use many options here as long as they fit into the battery compartment. Its size is written on the screen. FrSKY claims 210 mAh power drain at most, so even 1000 mAh battery would last about 3 hours of continuous use. Now the most important part, sticks. Sticks seem to be directly deposited from Taranis Plus radio. Same quad bearing design and overall feel. Length and tension are adjustable. There is a ratchet options for both sticks, and what's new, now both sticks can be fully spring-loaded. Mine came with throttle being spring-loaded, but this is a matter of adjusting one screw to get rid of that in case if not needed. As you can see, cables are neatly tied together. I had to loosen it a bit to get the smoothest feel on the throttle. As we have already glanced in the insides, let's have a closer look around. Personally, I don't see anything that I would like to change there. Everything seems to be assembled well. Nothing to worry about. This radio features internal XGT module that would also come in FCC and ULBT firmware versions and handle X, D and VA2 receivers. Now let's do a test. I would use the same RX8R receiver with QX7 and Plus radios. The RSSI value would be shown to you as I travel with the receiver throughout 3 floors of my house. Let's start. As you can see, I've loaded the signal on both radios almost at the same places. The only difference is that Plus radio has actually recorded the minimum RSSI of 12 and QX7 was able to record the value of 46. I think that this has more to do with the firmware difference in interpreting and recording those figures. We still have lost and recovered the signal on both radios at almost the same places. Therefore, I can conclude that QX7 internal XGT and newer antenna is on par with Taranis Plus radio. In the end, my overall feeling conclusion. I like this new radio from FrSKY. Although I found 2 small drawbacks, I would like it to weight more and I would do something to stop external module cover from rattling. I still think that this radio is smaller beast and would outperform any other competitor in terms of price, quality, functionality ratio. Despite being a younger brother to Taranis Plus, it still features almost the same. FrSKY ICC-ST Unbeatable Performance, OpenTX flexible firmware, full telemetry and the whole bunch of FrSKY receivers and sensors. Moreover, in some aspects it does outperform its older brother. So let's wait for the final word of FrSKY management about the marketing price. I hope that they would name it right and this product would conquer the new horizons. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year everyone!